Alrighty guys, we continue. So next what we're going to do is we're going to draw our um, house. Sorry, I got a message. House. So we're going to basically translate the house that we did in a three-dimensional drawing, and we're going to make that house into a perspective drawing, right? So 3D or isometric is where everything was parallel. Now this one is not exactly the same as yours, because the one we did was the old one, which I forgot. And the old one I put one door here and here, window. This is the version that you have created. But to be honest, I like this version more because it makes a little bit more sense that it would look like this, right? Why would you have a door here and a garage here? Like, it doesn't really make sense. So we're gonna do this version because it's better. Now we can choose to do some of these details or not, is up to us, right? Okay, so I've already done it. This is my old one, but I'm gonna do this all the way back from the beginning, obviously, because then you can learn, right? Okay, now this is a perspective drawing. It is pretty okay. And actually what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna show you how to do this. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so I was not super happy with this one because it was a little bit too warped, right? So I'm gonna try and make this version a little bit better. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna pretend that we're standing over here, and basically we're going to see, yeah, sort of this. This is sort of our field of view. I cannot pronounce that word. I tried the other time, but I could not pronounce it either, right? Field of view. V-O-F. F-O-V. Field, whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, so sort of we're looking that way. That is our goal. Okay, so let's do that. Now, last time I put it like this, and now I want to make it a little bit better. So I'm going to start again here. I'm going to give myself a slightly longer horizon because I think it's going to look a little bit more nice. So I'm going to put my horizon all the way till here, and I am going to only draw in this area over here. So let's go, and let's go. Okay, so I'm only concerned with drawing anything that roughly is going to land in this space, but I don't really like how crooked my lines are, but whatever. I just have to accept it for now. Okay, here we go. So please do the same thing. I want you to draw this thing, so please, you gotta join me. So make sure that you do what we did last time. So if you have a normal paper like this is your shape, then draw a box something like this, so that you only have to draw inside of this area and not inside of here. It's gonna make it look better. Or if you're using the computer like I am, just make sure you extend your paper a little bit. Or what you can also do is you can just rip a paper in half and give yourself with tape 2 extra pieces on the back side. That's just gonna make it look a little bit better, right? Okay, so I have ensured that so far. Okay, so just to make my life a little bit easy, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stop color coding it because it doesn't matter anymore. You should know it by now, right? So first I'm going to draw, I guess, the garden. That's going to give me a little bit of grip on how to plan it. So for the garden, I'm just going to start off with these basic bottom lines, right? That's just what we did in 3D, so let's do that first. Okay, so I'm going to come from here, and I'm going to say this is going to be garden till about, let's say, a little bit higher, maybe here, it will look nice. Yeah, that will be fine. I'm gonna go like, let's say till about here, and let's say till about, yeah, it's acceptable. So that is where I want to draw my garden, right? So then I can get rid of this stuff. I don't need to see this anymore. See? So of course when you draw this with a ruler, then you don't have to draw this part, right? Because then you're gonna have to erase it later. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So that part is planned out. I'm happy with that, right? Okay. Then the next thing I want to plan out a little bit is how big, well, let's add some more lines. So I can already start to do this sidewalk. Let's do that. So let's say the sidewalk, top, comes around here, maybe. And then this sidewalk comes around here, maybe. Yeah. Oh, gotta make sure it points. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Now I'm just gonna continue a little bit longer here, just because I can. It doesn't really matter. That's not gonna be too ugly, I don't think. So I'm just gonna extend this a little bit outside. I can always later decide if I want to keep it or not, right? But let's just leave it like this. I think in the end version I'm gonna add this line here. I'm gonna do it because I think it will make the drawing look a little bit more interesting. Okay, then that is planned out. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to start to draw a box shape for my house, right? So I want to plan a little bit where I want to make that. Well, let's go and make that over here. So let's say I'm going to go over here. Whoops.
Just to follow up on the lunch shower supervision. At this point, it looks like we might be able to get outdoors for a recess at lunch hour, so that is a good thing. I've attached a schedule in an email I sent out a few minutes ago, which outlines some changes in coverage for lunch hour today, and as well, if in fact it does start to rain, there is an indoor schedule optional. Thank you.
That's me, guys. I gotta go outside. But that's in an hour. Okay, so you see I'm drawing this box. I'm carefully trying to make sure that my lines are not accidentally lining up with any other lines, because that would make my drawing look confusing, right? So I'm gonna get rid of this stuff, don't need it anymore. Basically this is gonna be my box, see? So I like where it is at the moment, but I feel it's a little bit not high enough. So the easiest way for me to make it a little bit bigger now is to make it a little bit longer, bigger towards the bottom. It's gonna make it a little bit higher and lower. I think it will give me a slightly better result. See? So I can just extend this a little bit. I think I like the look of that a little bit more. Good. Erase a little bit. Let's do it like this. It goes a little bit quicker. Oop. Yeah, if you are drawing on the computer like I am, trust me, erasing with selections goes a million times better than erasing by hand. It goes so much faster, because you can just select the whole area and say, okay, I want to select all of that stuff in one go, then it's all gone in one go. Okay, so we're good. We have drawn the box, we have drawn the outline for the garden, everything is fantastic. Cool. Okay, so next thing I'm going to draw is going to be, let's plan out where the doors are gonna come. The doors, I'm gonna put a door there and I'm gonna put some doors over there. Okay, so this is the same as we did before. Let's go like up, like this, and like this. That feels like a good door shape. And then for the top of the door, of course, we're gonna have to go here again, right? And then if we want to make sure our windows are at the same height, we just keep going. I'm just gonna do one window over here, because two doesn't really matter. Put one window over here like this. And then the bottom also, of course, gonna have to go here. Look. Connect those two and those. Cool. Excelente. Okay, so that side is done. Then I'm gonna put 2 windows on the other side. Now, in our old technique, we just said, okay, if you go like this, then you can just go like this. Then they're all at the same height, right? Same for the bottom, you just keep on going until you hit the corner. Well, we do the same thing, exactly the same thing over here. Look, this is where I hit the corner, and this is where I hit the corner. So from there, obviously, I have to go here. Drawing, really, it makes a lot of sense. Like, these are just the basic rules that I'm teaching you, and once you know them, it is all not that difficult. I think you must agree by now. You just need somebody that takes the time to explain it to you a little bit. Okay, cool. So then don't need those helplines anymore, see? There we go. There we go. There we go. Everything line up with each other. Life is great. Excellent. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. Oop. Ups and ups. Up. So your drawing is going to be ugly like this a little bit because you are working on it, right? So just think of this as a sketch. You're trying to build things a little bit. If it's a little bit messy here and there, it's not the end of the world. You can always make it better later, right? Okay. Next thing to plan. I usually have to draw the same drawing multiple times, right? I could make a sketch like this, and then once my sketch is done, then I would go over it again and say, okay, well, now my sketch is done. Now I'm going to try and focus a little bit better. Try and make like a little bit more detail. And then it would look like, yeah, then it will look like better, right? I often have to draw the same drawing like 3 times or 4 times. And that is totally okay, because then you take the time and then you have like a good basis to draw all the things that need to happen, right? Then you can do good line work. But it's totally fine if it's messy in the beginning, right? We're just learning. Cool. Okay. So next thing I want to do is I want to add these guys. Oops. And this one, right? So these ones were parallel, remember? So in this case, they also have to come from the point. So if I go from this one to the point to here, see, and I make it a little bit longer, 2 times, that is correct. See, get rid of this stuff. There we go. So now I've drawn the path going out. So you can imagine, see, nothing changes. Either you go parallel if you're doing 3D, and in this case, instead of going parallel, now you just say, okay, well, that's the point I'm using. So I have to make sure that I am going to that specific point. See? Oops. So now I am still sort of trying to go there, but I am going to not, because it's, well, I am, but I'm not actually doing it because it's starting to get a little bit messy. See? Okay, here we go. So those are in the right spot. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do those little insides, right? Now, when we were doing 3D, it was fairly simple because we just said, okay, this is a red line, so this is a red line, so then this one is also a red line, right? And on the other side we say this is green, so then this one is green. Well, you're gonna have to do that now too, but now you have to go to the point. So you can't just like go like this, you have to make sure you're going sort of to the point on the right. Well, in this case, it's going to be fairly simple because it's going to be in between this line and this line, so somewhere in between. So I am going to, of course, do it properly by zooming out and going all the way over here. so I can make sure I'm getting the right angle. See, so it should be roughly like that. See, then for this one it's easy, we just go up, and then for this one we don't go exactly parallel to the other one, but we also going to have to aim to the point on the left. So if you want to do a really good job, you come from here, see, and then it is perfect. This is going to take a little bit of time and you have to be a little bit precise, but I'm teaching you how to do it precise, because once you understand how to do it precise, then you can just say, okay, well, I kind of know where it needs to go, so I don't need to 100% worry about it, because I know what it should roughly do, right? And your hand will very easily be able to draw it the right direction. It's not difficult, because there's going to be so many little lines all the way around your drawing that you can follow. See, I know this one just doesn't need to be exactly the same, it just needs to go a little bit more up, because the angle slightly changes. See? But you can do that once you sort of understand the basic things that is happening. And the basic thing that's happening is this the whole time, right? You just have to go. So if you want to draw a line that is slightly higher than this one, well, then you know it's got to be slightly less tilted than this one, so it should be something in between. If I want to draw something in between here, it's not difficult, see? This one should probably be more, oh, if I wanted to draw a line here, well, my suggestion is it would probably look like this. Let's see if I got that correct. Yeah, I got very close, see? So that is the main thing. The lines just keep on warping, see, to the point. If you keep on going towards that point, or aiming close to going to that point, you should be good, right? Okay. So I want to do the inside of the garage a little bit, because I think it's going to look fun. So the inside of the house, I can just say, okay, I'm going to go from here to the point on the left. But if I go from exactly the corner, then it's a little bit flimsy. I don't really have a wall. So I have to imagine a little bit that the wall is probably this thick here, so then it's probably this thick here. So I could say, okay, well, probably want to come from that point to here, I guess, again. See, somewhere there. So that means this is the back side. Okay, cool. So this is in the right spot. You can always check, right? Everything lines up. Well, I could see, no, I can't see that part. Nice. It's not difficult, guys. You just need to know the rules. And you're lucky, because I'm teaching you the rules. When I went to school to become a teacher, then the person who teach me this doesn't really know what they're doing. And then most often I find that the art teachers don't spend a lot of time trying to teach people this completely as detailed as I'm trying to do, because it's difficult to teach people, but I think it's just one of the most important things you can learn, because that is really the backbone of your drawing ability, you know, understanding 3D and perspective. That is like you can do anything from that point on. Okay, cool, here we go. So now we can do the fence. Let's do it. Easy. You know what? I think this garden is too big. I'm gonna make a decision. I'm gonna stop over here. I'm gonna make my garden a little bit less big, because I think it will look better. So I gotta go to about there. See? Here. A little bit too big. Don't really like it that big. A little bit smaller. A little bit nicer. Cool. Okay. Looks a little bit better. Okay, next I'm going to do, well, let's make this one a little bit shorter too, why not? Yeah. A little bit shorter. Should I or should I not? No, I just leave it. I'll leave both of them. It's gonna, no. Ah! Okay, let's make it a little bit smaller. A little bit, not too much. Let's say there. Oops, cool. Okay, next thing we're doing is we're doing the fence. Okay, so same thing here. Remember, we went like this, and then we went like this, and then we just first connected everything together like this. It's all coming back to you right now, I can guarantee, right? And then you knew like, oh yeah, that all connects with each other. And then we said, okay, we're gonna make some openings so that it can go in, remember? And then that is the first step. And then after we made these openings so that you could go in, then we said, okay, well, let's make it double so it's no longer so flimsy, right? We went all the way around like this. We're basically going to follow exactly the same steps, but now we're going to use the point. See? So, a little bit up, a little bit up. I'm just already going to draw them here so that I don't later have to erase them much. Like this, maybe. This one a little bit more straight. And then we can connect. Okay, so I go from here to the point. Oops. That is one of them. Then I go from here to this point. That is number 2. Then I go from here again to this point. And then you can see it's gonna end up in exactly the same spot. Super annoying, but don't worry about it, because that is just sometimes the way it is. So it's lining up exactly in the same place. Now, if I wanted to keep this as a box without a roof, then I would adjust it a little bit. Probably don't run into this problem because yours is slightly different, but mine, it lands at exactly the same place, right? And that is something I also taught you in the past, is something that will happen. You cannot always plan for that. That interference sometimes just happens, right? Cool. Okay. This is looking decent. Okay. Now, let's make this a little bit more thick, so we can make a decision. Let's say here, right? And then we're gonna connect. So we do the same thing. Connect this one to there. Oh. Connect this one to there. Connect this one to here. Oops. Oh, that is not totally good. I'm having so many lines there, as you can see, that starts to look a little bit difficult to see. So I'm mainly now doing it a little bit by feeling, but that's okay. Okay, and then first fix this side so it becomes a little bit better to see for you guys. Oops. Zoom in a little bit, and this one goes here. This one does this, right? Cool, cool, cool. Here we go again to the point. This one then 2. Oop. Yeah, it's looking pretty decent. Okay. Yeah, this is good to this is you should be able to see what's happening here. Okay. So then I gotta do this line too, and it's gonna become thinner. And let's say from here to here is also gonna become a little bit thinner. And that is how we do the fence, right? Cool. So far we have only gone to the 2 points. We haven't, and up and down, we haven't done anything else, right? So I could keep on going. I'm going to move my, yeah, I'm good actually. Gonna get rid of this one, I'm gonna get rid of this one. And the reason why I get rid of them is because I now realize I can go a little bit closer. So let's say this is one of them. This is the other one. It looks a little bit better, like this. Then I can do a second line over here for the curb. And I do a second line over here for the curb. Let's say like here to here. Something like that, right? Then I can say, for example, I want to do here that the people can cross the road. I'll do it here. So I go from here to here and from here to here. Then I can keep on aiming for the point up there. See, that is gonna be my crossroad. Then I also showed you how to do a sign the other time. So let's do that. I'll put a sign maybe over here. I'll put it over here. Look. Let's say I want to draw a sign over here. Look, these ones point to the point over here. That was a sign like this, for example, right? Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this roof part, right? That's going to be the hard part to do. So in 3D drawing, what we did was we did this. We say, okay, here's the middle, here, 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 right? That were the steps. Those steps are going to be the same. Look, first I'm going to find the middle. The middle is here. Cool. Then I'll do it in pink. I go from here to here, see, like this. And that is going to give me how much to go up here and how much to go up here. In between is going to be like this again, see? So this one is longer than this one, as you can see. And then I can connect this one to this one, this one to this one, this one to this one, and this one I cannot see it, it's behind, right? So I'll leave this up for a second, and then I will erase the inside because I don't need it anymore, right? Okay, I think that gives you enough time. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of all the stuff I no longer need here, which is going to be this and all of this stuff. No longer in need of any of these things. These are all on the inside of my roof, see? And now you can see I have done a pretty decent shape. So let's say I wanted to draw a chimney, right? Well, here was fairly simple because these lines stayed parallel to each other, right? Now here I cannot stay parallel because this one is different. Look, this one is different than this one. It is not exactly parallel, see? And that is okay because actually what is going to happen is that these lines, if you keep on drawing them more in the length, they're gonna come together in a point. So what I'm doing now is I am drawing above my paper, and it's probably gonna end up somewhere close to that little bar, you know, that's in the top of your screen, like close to this button is where it's coming from, right? And that's handy because if I draw lines from there, that means, look, if I keep aiming on there, oops, hey, if I kind of keep aiming on there, you can see these guys, we're gonna have to slowly change direction towards there, see? They're coming together in a point over there, just so that you know, right? Okay, now I don't need to draw that many, I just need to draw one for now. So I'm just gonna do, let's say, one over here. Oops, I know that one's going the right direction. And there I'm going to now draw a chimney. Here, start over here, I go a little bit up. I'm gonna make it higher than my house because it's gonna make it easier for me to do, right? So that is one side, then this is the other side, like this, right? Then I can go down, like this. And then from the other side, I'm gonna have to go this way 2 times and this way. I hope it is still clear to see. See? Now, depending on how close you get to your horizon line, you're going to be able to see more or less of this little top area, right? And that is one of the limitations that you're going to run into when you draw things in this technique. I just want to show you, because this is the right time to show you. So, look, it's going to become, the closer you get to the horizon, it's going to become more difficult to draw this nicely. See, if I get all the way over here, look, then this is going to happen. Like, these lines are going to become so flat, and crossing each other is going to be very hard to draw it, right? Now, if I do a little bit lower, it's going to be easier to do it. If I say, okay, I'm going to stay like a little bit low, then I'm going to have a little bit more space to work with, right? Sometimes it's better to go a little bit higher or a little bit lower, but please don't draw in like this area. This close to the horizon is always going to give you a headache. It's always going to be difficult. And then this one is super difficult, this is easy. Look, if I say, for example, right over here is going to be a building, and I stop exactly on the horizon, I'm just going to super quickly show you. I cannot do that, see? It's difficult, like, because then the line is the same. That doesn't work. So if I wanted to draw this one slightly underneath the horizon, then look, the lines are all going to intersect each other so much, like it's going to be very difficult for you to see if it's still good, right? So if you run into an issue like that, my advice is to say, okay, we'll stay a lot lower than the horizon, so you're not going to have all these like super close interfering angles, because this close to the horizon you're really only going to have about this much that you can draw off the top. So then it's sometimes better or easier to, instead of going under, just go a little bit over. See, it's going to be so much easier. Look, then this one goes down and then this one goes down. Oops. It's going to be easier to do. See? So keep in mind, don't get too close to your horizon, because it's going to make your life difficult. See? Okay. So that's what I wanted to show you. Okay, excellent. Now the window works the same way, so you figure out what you think is going to fit in between this and this, right? And then you say, okay, I go up, I go sideways again towards the point. Whoop. Then you can go sideways to the other one here on the left. And then you can connect this again, see? Something like this is pretty good. I'm not 100% excited about the location where I do it, but it doesn't really matter. This is just for learning, right? Okay, so that one can go there. And then this can go out of the way. Okay, excellent. Sweet. So add a window and this thing. Then I'll give you a second and then I will do the next part. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna make this drawing feel a little bit more finished now. So let's do that. So in the other one, what we did was I don't know if you remember, we super quickly did something to make it feel more finished. We extended this line a little bit, remember? And then we also extended the front and the back a little bit. So it started to look a little bit more like a roof. I think we need to do that here too. It's not difficult, look. So we extend this line a little bit and this one a little bit, and then this one went a little bit longer, see? And then this one also went longer, and then this one need to be longer, and then we need to find out that they're the same. So this one have to point here again, like maybe here, I guess. Yeah. So then this can be erased. Whoop. Cool. So that one will be here. And then this one went down. And that should end up in the same height as here, right? Otherwise it doesn't fit, so that's where we stop. But then we also wanted to go farther. Now, luckily I know where my point is over there. So if I want to go from here, it's going to be more steep. So this one can go till about here, I think. And this one can go down. Whoops. Until those are in the same spot. Like this. And then you can see that is looking a lot better already. See? Oop. Nice. This one a little bit longer too. Maybe I'm going a little bit too far overboard, but it doesn't really matter. Look. Hoppa. That look a little bit more interesting, right? Okay. Then let's put in a little tree. So we go around again, then we go a little bit up. Then we do a little floofy. Whoops. Up. Put in a little tree over here, right? Now, to finish this drawing, we can do anything that we want, right? So let's just say for now, I'm going to put next door over here a big building. So I go like this. That's going to be a corner. Then I'm going to go to my point on the left 2 times like this. Then I go a little bit up. Then I'm going to go to my point on the right 2 times. Let's say till about here. Until about here. Then I can go down. Look. Then I can say, okay, well, I'm going to do some doors in here, for example. Or maybe behind over here is going to be another building. Go a little bit to the left. Go down. Go here to the right. Like this, and like this, and like this. And then I can basically keep on adding blocks to create more things in the background. I could say, for example, okay, I keep on warping these lines to the point, like this, to say this is gonna be like a building with windows, like this, right? Or you can basically add anything that you want. Now, I want to show you one more thing that is super important, and that is if you want to create something to feel like it's far away, make sure you draw it small, right? So if you, instead of drawing this one here, if I draw like a big building over here, look, this is not gonna look very good because I am very close to my horizon here in the distance. Whoops. So that's not really gonna help me, right? Because that building in the distance is like so extremely big that is gonna break the illusion that I'm trying to create. Because I am telling you that this is so far away, that is where like things are starting to turn down. So if you want to draw something far in the distance, make sure it's really small. Because if it's really small, it helps the viewer understand that it is far away, right? So keep that in mind. The farther away you want to draw something, the smaller it should become. And if you're getting into really far away, then just like some tiny little outline of like a little mountain ridge, or just a couple of like sticks broken up or down, you don't really even have to use perspective anymore. It's gonna really make it feel like things are far away. See, that is the whole key. Okay, so please draw this. This is the end goal of this one. And then you guys are going to start your first assignments, which are going to be creating a perspective city and creating a perspective room, but I will give you some pointers and make a little video for you to understand a little bit better. Awesome. Choop, choop, choop. Yeah, have some fun with it. Just apply all the things you've learned before and just think about how those things would work if it wasn't perspective but it was three-dimensional. I think you should be able to come up with quite some interesting concepts. Oops. It's quite fun. Okay, enjoy.